let's talk level 5. Before we move into level 5, let me quickly reset how I build a roster, because this part matters. I always work in layers. First comes the deterministic layer, the non-negotiables, availability and leave, right craft group, right scope of practice, no overlapping shifts, enough rest, no unsafe daily hours, no one working endlessly. That layer is strict. If something breaks a hard rule, it simply doesn't happen. Only after that do I optimize. That's where intelligence comes in. Balancing fairness, nights, weekends, preferences, workload, and historical patterns. So when a roster appears, it's not random, and it's not rushed. Now that everything upstream is clear, this is where level 5 begins. Let's jump back into the living roster. This is level 5. This is where everything lives. What you're seeing here is the roster loaded in a stream view, with all the shifts cascaded exactly the way you set things up earlier in level 1 and level 2. Each stream, each shift pattern, laid out clearly. And yes, you can change to a time-based view, or you can or even create your own custom view, so the roster works the way you work. Now let's go back to the stream view, because this is where the AI features come in. I'll start by selecting the red stream. First, I apply the master roster. That part's straightforward. Predictable commitments go in first. No surprises. Now you ask myself to generate the roster with Iris. At this point, I go through the full process we talked about earlier, applying all 7 assignment checks at once. Once the roster is generated, you can review everything before anything is locked in. What role they're covering, how they qualified for it, and how the decision was made. You can scroll through the entire list, in this case 153 assignments just for the red stream, and inspect as much or as little detail as you like. Happy with it? Then you apply it. And just like that, it drops into the grid. Now you can see the red stream clearly. Emergency physicians where you asked for them, registrars where they are, exactly matching the demand you set earlier. That's actually quite nice. From here, we repeat the same process for the remaining streams, quickly and consistently. And yes, while that's happening, you're allowed to grab a sip of coffee. In the background, the 2-week roster for the emergency department at Melbourne General Hospital is being built, using deterministic logic first, then AI optimization on top. Once all the streams are done, you can step back and look at the entire roster together. At this stage, I can already see one conflict and a few gaps. That's not a failure, that's visibility, and we'll deal with those next. If I switch to coverage view, you'll see the reality. A few vacancies are still unfilled. And that's exactly what I want to show you. There are 2 ways I build a roster. Generate with Iris is my careful mode. I apply all safety, fairness, and preference rules together to build a balanced roster. If there's no safe or fair option, I'll leave the shift unfilled. Fill gaps is my tactical mode. I still strictly respect craft groups and scopes of practice, and I never break hard safety rules. But I'm allowed to be more flexible with soft rules. For example, shortening a preferred 12-hour rest to 11 hours if the organisation's hard minimum is 10. I'll show the option, you decide. Hard rules stay unbroken. Soft rules can bend. That's the difference. Alright, now let me show you how fill gaps actually works. I'm looking at the full roster and the entire stream together. And straight away, a few things jump out. Here you can see we've over-rostered 1 registrar. 3 instead of 2. That's a problem. If I scan across to short stay, there are gaps. We needed an emergency physician there. And right now, no one's rostered. And on the night shift, we needed 3 HMOs, but we've only got 2. So, let's tackle this one thing at a time. First, I select short stay, and I ask myself to go into tactical mode and fill the gaps. Now I'm looking for staff who are qualified, available, and safe to use. You'll see I've found a few people who declared availability and match the craft group. Take Sam Jones down here. He's only rostered for 24 hours so far, but he can work up to 40. That puts him higher on the list. and gives us a sensible option. Happy with that? I apply the assignments, and just like that, the gaps in short stay are fixed. Next up, nights. We still need one more HMO, so you select the night shift and run fill gaps again. Tactical mode finds another eligible person. Yes, they'll be a bit over-rostered, 58 hours instead of 40, but they've declared preferred availability. You apply it, and I accept that. And now the roster is almost complete. If I look at the grid, everything's green. Coverage looks good, except there's still that extra registrar over-rostered in Redstream. So let's deal with it properly. I go back into Shift View, into the red team, and here it is, 3 registrars instead of 2. You decide which one to remove. I unassign that person and they're gone. Clean, simple, no ripple effects. Now let's head back to Coverage View. And there we are, coverage is good. And that brings us to the end of this walkthrough. What you've seen here is intelligent roster, built carefully, designed for real clinical environments. Once the roster is built, there's always a final human check, because context matters. You publish when you're comfortable. From there, staff can view their shifts, sync them to Apple or Google Calendar, and get on with their work and their lives. There are many more nuances beyond this overview. Creating open shifts from unfilled gaps, managing the shift deck, AI-assisted, complex shift swaps. Those are advanced features, and they deserve their own dedicated demonstrations, which we'll share separately. For now, this was about showing what's possible when rostering combines augmented intelligence with human judgment, keeping safety, fairness, and clarity at the center. We're proud to be taking this forward globally, working with partners across different health systems, not limited to emergency departments, but anywhere healthcare rostering is complex and consequential. Intelligent roster is built to scale, whether you're managing a few hundred clinicians or many thousands, without losing visibility or control. Start with a single department, expand to the whole hospital, or roll out across your entire health service. If this feels relevant to your context, you're welcome to visit our website and request a demo. We'll listen, understand your setting, and explore whether this could be useful for you. Let's connect. And we have so much more to show you around